Welcome, brave souls, to another journey into the darkness. Prepare yourselves for a tale that will send shivers down your spine and haunt your dreams forever. I have prepared my most macabre terror story that I can think of to share with you, so brace yourself, for this story will make your blood run cold and your heart race with dread. Unlocking the Leviathan Box: Secrets of the Appalachian Mountains. In a small forgotten town nested deep within the Appalachian Mountains, there existed an old curiosity shop. Its facade was worn and weathered, the paint peeling from the wooden planks and the windows thick with dust. Locals whispered that the shop had been there for as long as anyone could remember, though no one could recall ever seeing its owner. One rainy evening, a man named Jeff stumbled upon the shop. He was a drifter, passing through town on his way to nowhere in particular. Something about the shop drew him in, perhaps the dim flickering light from within, or the faint hum that seemed to resonate from the very walls. As Jeff stepped inside, a musty smell assaulted his senses, a mix of aged wood and forgotten time. The shop was crumbled with strange and particular items, ancient books with indescribable scripts, dusty bottles filled with thick mercury liquids, and odd trinkets that seemed to defy explanation. But it was the box that caught his eye. Sitting on a shelf in the back of the shop, half hidden beneath a tattered cloth, was a small wooden box. It was intriguingly covered with symbols Jeff didn't recognize, symbols that seemed to shift and change when he tried to focus on them. The wood was dark, almost black, as if it had absorbed centuries of darkness and despair. Jeff felt an inexplainable urge to reach for the box, his hand moving almost of its own accord. As he touched it, a chill ran through him, colder than any winter's night he had ever known. The box seemed to pulse beneath his fingers, a steady rhythm like the heartbeat of something ancient and malevolent. "Careful with that," came a voice from the shadows. Jeff jumped, his heart racing as he turned to see an old man emerging from the darkness. His eyes were pale and milky, his skin hanging loosely from his bones. "That there is the Leviathan box." "The Leviathan box," Jeff echoed, his voice trembling slightly. "Aye," the old man nodded, his voice gravely and low. "It's said to contain something not of this world, something that should never be unleashed." Jeff felt a shiver run down his spine. "What's inside?" "No one knows," the old man replied. "No one who's ever opened it has lived to tell. They say it holds the essence of the Leviathan, a creature from the depths of hell, bound within for eternity. But the box, it's more than just a prison. It's a gateway, a bridge between our world and the realms beyond." Jeff felt a strange compulsion, a pull that was stronger than his fear. "How much?" he asked, almost against his will. The old man's milky eyes seemed to bore into him, and for a moment Jeff thought he saw a flicker of something, perhaps pity or maybe amusement. "It's not for sale," the old man said, "but it's yours if you take it. Just know this, once you open it, there's no going back." Jeff hesitated, but the pull of the box was too strong. He nodded, and the old man stepped aside, allowing him to take it. As soon as Jeff left the shop, he felt the weight of the box grow heavier, as if the thing inside was aware of its release. He returned to his motel room, the rain pounding against the window like a warning drumbeat. Placing the box on the table, he stared at it, the carvings on its surface seeming to dance and ride. He knew he shouldn't, but the urge was overwhelming. With trembling hands, he lifted the lid. The room was plunged into darkness. The light from the lamp sniffed out in an instant. A cold wind swept through the room. Though the windows were tightly shut, Jeff could hear whispers, low and unintelligible, growing louder and louder until they became a deafening roar. And then, from the box, something emerged. It was a shadow, a form that defied description. It was as if the darkness itself had become alive, a withering, a seething mass of pure malevolence. Eyes, or what might have been eyes, glowed from within the shadow, burning with an ancient hunger. The whispers turned into screams as the shadow lunged at Jeff, enveloping him in its cold embrace. He felt it seep into his skin, into his very soul, and he knew with a sickening certainty that the old man had been right. The box was a gateway, and what had come through was not meant for this world. As the darkness consumed him, Jeff felt himself being pulled into the depths of hell, into the depths where the Leviathan waited. The last thing he heard before the darkness claimed him was the sound of the box slamming shut, trapping him into the eternal void. The next morning, the motel room was empty, save for the Leviathan box sitting on the table, its carvings now still and silent. In the old curiosity shop, the old man smiled as he placed a new sign in the window. Help wanted. The shop needed a new caretaker, after all. Thank you for tuning into this eerie tale. Until next time, stay tuned for more spine-chilling stories. This was Sandra Pink.